Greetings, wonderful people. Welcome back once again. It is Friday afternoon. I am done with class, and so where am I? By the rails. After the very tragic selling of my camcorder yesterday while I was out trackside, I was hoping for better luck. Unfortunately, I had three things to be on the lookout for. And as 27A was supposed to have the Sonic Bonnet leading, CSX M202 was supposed to have the Spirit of Our Law Enforcement leading, and there's supposed to be some B train with a trio of CN engines on it. So I was hoping to see all three. And if you notice anything about these images, only one of these is mine. Yeah, that should give you a hint as to how successful this day was. Anyways, our first catch of the day would be some manifest coming northbound as it passes by some parked auto rack train off in the distance, slowly traversing towards Inman Yard on this overcast day. Little nice array of engine power here. Also, if anyone knows anything about this flat car, will you please drop a comment? I tried looking this up and I don't know where it came from or what it's for, but I think it looks pretty cool. And to be honest, that would be the last cool thing that I considered seeing about this train. I got very bored very quickly standing on this bridge, so I decided to go over to the bridge we were mainly at yesterday, where the unfortunate selling happened. This time, forsaking seeing the Norfolk Southern action, you can actually see the NS train going through the trees over there, to instead look at the CSX operations. There's some part CSX train here, and to the right are two CSX SD40E3s. These are eco units, but because CSX nomenclature does not go over 6 characters, they're demarcated at SD40E3s. These are actually the same two units that I had missed yesterday when I tried coming up to this bridge. The two EMDs here are CSX 1700 and CSX 1704. That second engine actually being one of 2 locomotives that were involved in this. After standing here for a little bit and not seeing much happening, I decided to cross to the other side of the bridge so I could see the NS lines again, only to immediately miss a trio of CSX engines going towards the Tilford area. What happened right here, this will be a trend for today. A trend of getting jump scared by trains that are just randomly spawning in out of nowhere. Anyways, as these 3 locomotives go on to whatever assignment they have, we return to the Norfolk Southern side to see some manifest train coming out of Inman Yard. This is a freight train that is working the yard. I don't know whether it is for a local or for an actual outbound manifest. And right now it is just pulling up to the south end of the yard with an older Dash 9 and a DC Jeepa. As this train heads further out to the exit of the yard, another train comes up right behind it. This is actually Norfolk Southern 242 that is building its train, being led by a Dash 9 that has definitely seen better days. I had thought about leaving this spot and instead going to Inman Yard to see whatever action there was until I looked behind me and y'all, I cannot make this up. Another train came.
Incredible.
I don't know where this thing came from. I didn't even see it on my phone. It just spawned in out of nowhere. This is, you guessed it, a certified Atlanta magic moment. 3 trains within 5 minutes, all pulling up out of the yard, coming out of nowhere. Oh, and what would you know? The spawning of random trains would continue because as soon as these DPUs left, another CSX manifest came out of the Howell industry area. Fortunately, this is just a local, and this is actually being led by the 2 units that we had seen parked down near the CP Spring area the day before. So I wasn't really concerned too much with that. As that CSX manifest continued on its way, Norfolk Southern 242 continues to pull out of the yard a little bit more as it continues to build its train. And while it was doing its work, I decided to move down the bridge to see if there was any potential CSX action occurring while Norfolk Southern 242 reverses back into Inman yard. Yeah, we don't talk about that. Anyways, that CSX Park manifest that we had seen when we had first come out here, all of a sudden begins to accelerate from its stop here at the bridge. And as this thing is accelerating on, look what we have in the distance. Norfolk Southern 27A with NS 4000, the first ever AC-44 C6M leading it. Dubbed the Sonic Bonnet for its blue and yellow paint scheme. There was a nice little funny moment here. If you look closely, you can actually see the conductor on 27A talking to that conductor walking the train on the ground. I don't know what they were talking about, but it looked like they were having a good time. As 27A continues to inbound towards the intermodal facilities at Inman, the first manifest that had pulled up to the south end of the yard starts reversing back into Inman. And as the DPUs of 27A appear on the horizon, Norfolk Southern 242 makes yet another surprise appearance, pulling out of the yard once again. the DPUs cleared, I went on to check the CSX signal again to make a very startling discovery. The signal had turned off.
What? What do you mean by that?
No signal indication at all. Yeah, so nothing on the CSX side. So I decided to head over to Inman Yard, where I immediately missed a train on my way here.
Oh my God.
Spawned out of literally nowhere. As this auto-rack train was clearing, some random set of intermodal cars was also being pushed up towards the south end. Evidently, there must have been some yard power switching in an intermodal train that had come in earlier. Looking northwards into the yard, we can see strings of auto racks and intermodal containers, in addition to some parked auto rack train with an AC-44. While 27A continues to inbound towards the intermodal facilities, I took a closer look at the locomotive shops to make a very startling discovery. You see that yellow and black engine sticking out like a sore thumb? Yes, my friends, that is the Virginian Heritage Unit, freshly painted. This is one of the first Heritage units that Norfolk Southern has restored ever since they made an announcement that they were going to repaint and basically overhaul all their Heritage units. This train had come in on 25A, and this had come in really early, much earlier than I was willing to wake up. So this will be the best view that we'll be getting of this locomotive.
Try!
Off in the distance, that first manifest that we had seen near the south end of the yard continues to traverse deeper towards the north end of the yard. And while it does that, I decide to head over to the Turford area, where I discover two parked manifests. Ironically, all the action we'll be seeing from here right now is from 27A's DPUs peeping through some of the structures of the rail manufacturing plant, because the CSX lines, as I honestly expected, were pretty much dead. The transfer area with all the hoppers were dead, and none of these manifests were moving. The one manifest that we can actually see the head end on is carrying some interesting loads. Those are actually rail switches that you're looking at, assembled with the rails, ties, and the components that allow trains to switch tracks. The manufacturing plant was pretty active today, doing whatever type of processing they were doing. I wish that I could describe what was going on here. I'll eventually show more footage of this plant and some of the other operations I've gotten in the future. But as for now, our analysis of these Norfolk Southern operations will be quickly interrupted by one of the CSX manifests beginning to move. As I was filming this train, I noticed that gondola with what appears to be aluminum or some sort of metal cubes in it. And I realized, hold up, this is the same train that I saw over at the bridge near the south end of Inman. Why am I filming this again? So I went back to the Inman Yard area to, of course, you guessed it, miss another train that spawned in out of nowhere.
You are so sorry.
After getting further along the bridge, I noticed a yard power set that was coming in, hoping they were going to come up my way before they began to reverse back deeper into Inman Yard. Fortunately, action would soon be coming my way as another intermodal train was heading north by Inman Yard. After this intermodal cleared, it was followed by a KCS Jivo that was coming up out of the locomotive shops, which was then also followed by that yard sit that we had first seen earlier. And as yet another random string of intermodal containers reverses behind us, the yard power set and its train comes towards us. And my friends, with this train, I'm going to give a quick PSA on why you should not trespass into railroad yards. So look closely at this locomotive. Do you see an issue? Do you see anything odd about this train?
Nope.
Yes, that is right. There is nobody in it.
What?
This train is being completely remote controlled. There is no one in the cab actually physically operating the train right now. What this means, my friends, is that if you are trespassing in a railroad yard and you are in front of a train, there is no one who is looking in the cab in front to be able to see you and to try to stop the train. Meaning, if you are caught in the wrath of this 200-ton behemoth, your legs are getting samurai sliced. So, my friends, please don't be dumb. Please don't trespass into railroad yards. Please and thank you. As the yard train makes its way toward the south end of the yard, another northbound intermodal train comes by, led by a pair of some normal, standard Norfolk Southern GEs. As the intermodal train continues on its way, the yard train starts reversing back towards where it came from. I unfortunately failed to film a KCS Ace that was also coming out of the locomotive shop, but regardless of that, nothing much was really going on, so I started to depart the area. However, as I was departing, I saw that there was something cleared to leave the south end of the yard, so I went over to this little pull-off area where PTI vans come in for crew changes. And shortly, a solo AC-44 came around the curve, leading a southbound loaded auto-rack train. I decided to chase this auto-rack train all the way over to the bridge where the DPU, a BNSF-9, shortly came. And oh, wouldn't you believe it? We had another instance of a random train spawning out of nowhere. When I came here, there was a CSX manifest moving on the left side. As the BNSF DPU continues pushing its train, the head end of the CSX manifest train actually comes in, as this train is actually reversing back to continue its work. I believe this is CSX M582 working one of the yards near Hawaii. And as these two CSX engines go off in the distance, going off to whatever drop they have, let me remind you of what I said at the beginning of this video. I was waiting for NS 4000, I was waiting for the Spirit of the Law Enforcement, and I was waiting for 3 CN locomotives. And how many of these trains did I see? Only one! CSX M202, I don't know when that thing came. But the CN units, I must have missed them by not too far, because one of my friends, who was at least an hour away from where I was from, eventually saw this train in daylight. So, yeah, a little tragic miss there. And unfortunately, another L that I'm taking in the streets. But regardless, I still saw plenty of train action. Like, trains literally spawning left and right. Something that I really cannot be complaining about, to tell you the truth. Something that some of y'all probably wish you had on your lines. Even if you don't have it on yours, I'm glad that I can at least share it with y'all here. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, my friends, God bless. I'll see you soon, out on the high iron.